What is going on, everybody? Good morning. We have made it to Friday, and on this particular week, Friday is also known as day 2 of the 2025 NFL Draft. We are here. We've got 4 picks to use today in rounds number 2 and 3, and it has a chance to be a pretty transformative day for your Seattle Seahawks. I don't know if we technically have the most draft capital today, but we're right up there if we're not number one. And we have more than enough draft capital to do some pretty significant things and make this team better now and later. So, got some things I want to talk about real quick. First, though, one thing I want to say is I'll be covering day 2 of the draft just as I did day 1. So, a few minutes before the draft goes live at about 4 Pacific, I'm going to turn the stream on. Should go live on Facebook, X, and YouTube all at the same time. I'm going to be using Restream again. It worked great yesterday, so I think we're fine. And I'll be streaming throughout the entire day 2. So it'll probably be about 5 hours. I'll break down every pick. Obviously, it'll be a very surface level evaluation of non-Seahawks picks. But when the Seahawks make their picks at 50, 52, 82, 92, assuming they don't trade up or trade down anywhere, which very good chance they do at some point. Well, okay, let me take that back. It doesn't seem like trade downs are happening as often lately. So I will of course be going more in depth on those picks, but I'll be at least discussing every pick that gets made on some level. I'll be putting it up on screen so people can follow. I'll be putting my running big board up on screen just like it was yesterday. So if that sounds like something that's fun to you, if that sounds like a good experience to you, if you had a good time yesterday or whatever it may be, whatever pulls you to my draft coverage, hope you come on by. If not for the whole time, then at least for the Seahawks 4 draft picks. So yeah, today is going to be all about getting the best value possible because, and I'm going to say this knowing that some people are going to disagree with me, and that's fine. Yesterday was about taking care of the screaming need on your team. It was. That's how I feel anyway. Yesterday was about we really need this thing. So we're going to go ahead and make it happen. Make sure we, at the very least, on some level, address it this offseason. And now we've done it. Maybe you could have done slightly better in terms of raw value with that 18th overall pick. Maybe you could have gotten a player that will end up being a little bit better at a different position. But for assorted reasons, you felt obligated to make sure you took care of that. And you didn't do badly in terms of value either, I don't think, but I do feel that pick was driven by we really need this, and we need to make sure we get it. Maybe we wouldn't have felt that way if Tyler Booker didn't go much earlier than expected. Maybe if when our pick came up, Tyler Booker was still on the board, we would have had more confidence that we would have been able to wait until round 2. But I do get the sense, and there's no way to know this for sure, but I do get the sense the team went, we got to lock this up. Now you've done that. And now you are in a position where you can really focus on just drafting the best players when your picks come up. So I want to see good value. I want to see smart picks. I want to see picks that make sense. I want to see this team prioritize getting the best players at every possible opportunity and let the chips fall where they may. If our pick comes up and the best player available is a running back, don't be afraid to take that running back just because, oh, it's a running back, you can't draft running backs. No. If he's the best player, he's the best player. If our pick comes up and the best player available is a safety, don't be afraid to take the safety. I know there are going to be some people who go, why do we already have this safety, we already have that safety. Don't worry about it. Just take the best players, figure out the rest later. That's what I want to see. And obviously, there are some positions where maybe you'd have to pull the reins back a little bit on. Like, I don't know if you can draft. I don't know if you could draft another um, quarterback right now. If the best player available is a quarterback, that might be a bridge too far. If the best player available is a 3-tech, that would maybe be a little bit harder to spin. But in almost every case, I just want to see this team have a good approach. And if what we did yesterday allows the team, liberates the team to follow that approach today, then yesterday's pick is even better in hindsight, right? Because it liberated you mentally to at least say, well, now we can kind of improvise our way through the rest of the draft with whatever the board gives us. So that's what I'm looking for. I really want to come out of today with a receiver, and I think that the way the board is falling, there will be an opportunity to get a really good receiver today. And other than that, I'm pretty open to suggestions. If we get to our pick and a really good edge rusher's there, I'm definitely intrigued. If we get there and a cornerback is there, that would be something that I'm really into. There are a couple corners that could be there at pick 50 that I would be all over. So let's see how the board falls, man. Let's see how things shake out. I'm going to be open-minded here. I'm going to let the board speak to me based on who is available when our picks come up. And I'm going to be on board with almost anything as long as I feel like that philosophy is being followed. Beyond that, beyond just talking about what I'm hoping to see later today, same schedule. We're going to stream until the end of day 2. And then what's going to happen is a little after my stream ends, I'm going to go live with the Hawk's Nest to break down what happened during day 2. So keep an eye out for that StreamYard instance to go live. It should go up on the channel not too long after I end my stream. So just keep an eye out. And other than that, there were some interesting things from last night. I will say that. Last night, after the Seahawks made their pick, after the first round was done, John Schneider gave kind of an exit interview. And subjective, of course, but I kind of got the sense that he wasn't thrilled with the way yesterday went. Not that he wasn't thrilled about getting Gray's Able. I do actually think he was pretty happy with that. But I think there was definitely a part of him that was hoping a Mykel Williams, Kenneth Grant, Kelvin Banks, that player, that kind of player, would be there at pick 18. He was hoping that things would go kind of funky in the first 17 picks, like maybe 3 or even 4 quarterbacks go in the first 17 picks, or maybe you see somebody who nobody really expected go in those first 17 picks, like excuse me, like maybe a Mike Green, maybe what's another good example? Maybe like a Xavier Watts, just something funky to push some of the blue chippers down so that he could either take them or cook up a trade back. I got the sense that he was kind of hoping the board would be a little more friendly when his pick came up, and he also wanted the opportunity to trade back. Supposedly, we tried to trade back, and we couldn't make anything happen, which that is starting to become kind of a pattern here. It feels like we can't trade back the way we used to. So it did feel like they were a little disappointed with that. And I got the sense that their feeling coming out of yesterday was they made the best of a not great situation. And I think that's a reasonable assessment. In a perfect world, one of the really, really good players would have slipped to you. Again, guys like Mykel Williams, guys like Ken Grant, guys like maybe Jalen Walker. I'm not a huge Jalen Walker guy, but maybe if you're really high on Jalen Walker, then somebody like him. Maybe a world where Will Johnson isn't apparently walking around on one leg, which is the only way I can justify him still being available in the second round. They would have been a little bit more eager to either make a pick like that or trade back with a team that really wanted one of those players. But the opportunity wasn't there. So they made the best they could of a not great situation. And I don't know. Everybody's going to read things differently. Everybody's going to take things differently. That's the sense I got from what Schneider was saying. They wanted to do other things, but those other things simply were not there for them to do. I also kind of got the sense that he hinted he wanted to trade up in the second round today. The way things are, it kind of feels like stuff like that is really hard to do. So I'll be keeping an eye out for that. Maybe we see that. We certainly have the ammo for it. But to be perfectly honest, it just seems like the ability to really win a trade on draft day has gone away. Everybody is so scared of, well, apparently not everybody, because we got the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Atlanta Falcons. But it seems like there's a real resistance to being the team that gets pushed around in a trade because it becomes very apparent to so many people, and so many people make fun of you when it happens. I don't know. It just feels like you can't do this stuff the way you used to. All right. I think that's really about it. Those are the things that I took away from that Schneider exit interview last night. We'll see if we trade up. Maybe we will. And maybe it'll be a good trade. Maybe we'll end up getting a really fun player. Like, I have a list of a few top-level players still available on the board, and I can tell you right now, there are going to be some Seahawks fans that get very excited if they get an opportunity to get one of these guys. Even with the injuries, Will Johnson is still a very appealing prospect. Mike Green, this is about the point where I think it's worthy to take a risk on him. Aman Worry would get some people very pumped up. So the list goes on and on. There's a lot of opportunities to make this team better. I will see you guys later tonight. And, well, this afternoon, actually. And keep an eye out for the stream to go live. Go Hawks. Let's get it, guys. This is important. We need to get this right. Let's do it.